New Central Correspondent Adesewa Josh, who is also in Borno State, the venue of the Lake Chad Basin Governors Meeting, joins me now for highlights of the opening ceremony. Hello, Adesewa. What can you tell us in addition to what Maro has presented in the package?
It's the consensus that peace is yet to return to the Lake Chad Basin region, and certainly not to Borno State. And this is alluding to the statement by Governor, the Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. All right, so the VP did allude to the fact that peace is pretty much has not returned back to the Lake Chad Basin, and certainly not to Borno State, and that is what the coming together of the Lake Chad Basin Governors Forum is about. And he also commended and recognized the resilience of the people of the Lake Chad Basin and the commitment of the leaders to not only end the Boko Haram crisis, but also to resettle the people who have been displaced, and also to provide them with a form, with something to live on, basically. And that's the highlight, basically. There was also the raising of funds, about 11 million euros, specifically from Germany, straight to the Lake Chad Basin Commission to support them in the humanitarian projects that they're currently carrying out. All of the leaders agreed that there's a lot of work to be done, and if they spoke one after the other about the things that they've been doing to restore the region back to winning ways. Felicity.
Okay, what should we be expecting tomorrow and the day after?
Well, tomorrow there would be a lot of conversations around civil society organizations. There would also be conversations around how to demobilize Boko Haram members who are willing to lay down their arms, and how to reintegrate them back into their their society, basically. That's been a very challenging part of this whole strategy, which is the regional strategy for stabilization, resilience, and recovery. But they will be talking actively about this, and I know it's a lot of talking, but for someone who's reported here before, to see how freely we could move, how secure we now feel compared to how I felt 6 years ago, you can tell that there is progress, but of course there is still a lot of work to be done. So, and they would also argue that it starts with conversations. They will begin to talk about this and then take notes of all the strategies that they've come up with and then begin to implement. The good thing is that it is the leaders of this region that are taking the lead in these conversations, and then the international partners are supporting them. It is not the reverse is not the case, and that's wonderful to see. Felicity.
What's the level of optimism? It's been 5 years since the forum was launched. I mean, what's the level of optimism as to the impact that it has had, the forum has had on ending the Boko Haram crisis, as well as supporting victims? In 40 seconds, if you can. I'm told we're out of time.
All right. So when I asked the same question to the secretary of, the executive secretary of the Lake Chad Basin Commission, what I was told about the fact that there are pockets of attacks still coming up, in spite of all the work that they've done in the last, say, 6, 7, 8 years. And the answer is, whatever attack you're seeing now is just not the return of Boko Haram, for sure. That Boko Haram has been degraded. They all seem to agree that Boko Haram has been degraded, and that once the issue of poverty, underdevelopment, restoring the Lake Chad Basin, which he also denies is drying up, by the way, he said it stopped drying up in the 80s. It is refilling. It's being refilled, and it's coming back, he said. But that once all of that is taken care of, once poverty is being dealt with, the same thing that Vice President Kashim Shettima alluded to in his speech, once the Lake Chad Basin region can address the issue of poverty, illiteracy, that we will begin to see a fast track of some of the work, the good work they say that they have done in the last 5, 6, 7, 8 years. It is really a wait-and-see game, and hopefully we will not be talking about the same thing in the next 5 years. We will not be talking about resilience. Hopefully we'll be talking about that the region is thriving. Felicity.
All right, Adesewa, thank you for speaking with us. I'm sure I'll be back with you in the coming days.